Well, she talks a good game. She had an excellent amateur game, and she's got a ring walk tune to match as well. Bit of class from Harli Whitwell, whose father, Stephen's, in her corner. Her sister's a boxer, Shona, too. She comes from a fighting family. And with that excellent amateur pedigree to back up on, she is making the right noises. Love the way she talks as well. Realistic about where she wants to go and the pace she wants to go at. And in this fast lane life these days, that's slightly unusual. So she's got her feet on the ground, a good head on her shoulders, but a talent to back up on. And here are their resumes. Whitwell unbeaten in 3 so far, looking to get busy after 7 months out of the ring. And slightly younger, 3 years younger than her opponent, Angelika Oles. They both came in just under the lightweight limit. She's got the advantages in height by 3 inches, but look at that reach. That'll prick the ears and the attention of George Groves. 6 inches in reach, the advantage. Will Whitwell use that tonight? We're about to find out. Probably can be operating at super feather going forward, and she'll be keen to get her career back on track in 24. Injuries and opponents' fights falling through, punctuating her progress in 23. She would have loved to have, I think, had a couple of more fights, but fresh slate, clean slate, new opportunities in 24, and looking forward to seeing what she can do and how much she can build on that amateur experience, George.
No, absolutely. She's out February, okay, already, so she'll be looking for a lovely busy year, and she started this fight really well. Straight right hand landed great there from Whitwell. She's starting to find the range already with that left hand with the jab. She keeps little adjustments to the feet, and again that right hand.
And that's the shot. Yeah, that's the thing to look out for. She very sort of classic, lovely shot, whipped in a couple to the body as well, but jab, right hand, left hook. She throws that 3-punch combo particularly well. That's the thing to look out for tonight, and already she's settling down behind that kind of tried and trusted orthodox route. Oh, she's hurt her, uppercut, and she just forced Oles to back off. Hurt her with that shot. Menacing punches going in. There's a right hand to the body. This is a terrific start through the first minute and a half from Whitwell.
Yeah, Oles not able to match Whitwell's hand speed. So with her hands being a bit slower, she just not confident in punching. Weren't too far away there with the right hand, but as she throws the follow-up right hand, she gets caught with a check left hook.
Gets through with the right hand. Blink, and there was just a look of pain on the face of Oles after that shot got through. She does look open for the left hook too. Opportunities are plenty in the first round, and you fancy more to come for Harli Whitwell. Big build-up for on these Johnny Clark shows, with the top tier doing the press conferences or doing the fighter meetings and all of that. They're just getting a taste of the big time early on these sort of big small hall shows, and this is the first time Whitwell's kind of been exposed to that kind of experience. Yeah,
no, definitely. She drew blood here. Her legs got a bit of blood coming from the nose, and that spurred her on. She's now trying to step forward and let her hands go. Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, big trickle of blood from the right nostril of Oles, and George is right. I think she realised she's going to have to fight her way out of this. Tries her own right hand, but look at the eyes of Whitwell. She looks sharp and fast, and that amateur pedigree means that she's picking all the right shots so far. Right hand there from Oles, and she's having a go. Whitwell's just got to be careful about those big shots coming back.
Yeah, I mean, even when you're in full control, you might be winning the fight. It is the sport where you take no shots. Just like that there.
There you go, yeah, bang on cue. Reminder, careless, coming out, retreating from the exchange. Left hand was low, and Oles was onto it with her own right hand counter. Well, it's exciting for us. She's taking chances, Whitwell. Maybe chances she doesn't need to, but it's making for stirring stuff. And you've got to credit Oles, who's fought back. She had to.
Yeah, she had no choice but to fight back in this round, and she's done so to her credit. She hasn't been too far away, her right hand, but she does let her hands go, opens herself up.
She's getting hurt, though. A couple of big left hands, a left hook getting through from Whitwell, who was clipped a couple of times. Just a reminder there not to be too gung-ho, to always, at this stage of your career, not to get into bad habits. Dropped her hands a couple of times, got clipped, but the heavier shots, she came back with in answer right at the end of that round.
See, Wilmington can get progressed very quickly, so we'd like to see her very busy this year, a star in the making, providing she can keep racking up the wins.
And I always think as a neutral that for any young prospect coming through, really winning is the most important thing, and you leave the who you win against to your team. But there is that balance as well of how you win and selling yourself, and how many chances and risks do you personally want to take and leave the risks in terms of the matching to those around you. But actually how many risks you take in a fight, that's up to you, and that's not an easy line to tread. Yeah,
every window is a shop window for a young pro, whether that be, and that doesn't just solely mean on fight night underneath the bright lights. You know, it's every interview you do, every bit of public sort of engagement that you do. You want to be building yourself, building your brand, building your profile, and essentially at this stage you want a punch perfect performance, and that sometimes ain't always the most entertaining fight. The most entertaining fight could be a 50-50 slug out, but that's not your job. Your job as the prospect is to not get hit, land your shots, and essentially you don't get paid for overtime. So if you can get rid of the people in front of you and then complain that, well, I need to be pushed on, get me titles, get me titles.
Well, this style isn't half going to help so far from Whitwell. Enough technique, plenty of punches, taking a few chances, but she's not been hit in this round, to be fair. She's switched on. She's really leaning into the shots. Look at that. Yeah, bring it on, she says. Gets through with the right hand. She's probably running out of time, but she's put everything into the shots in this round, and they may well be having their effect. Big right hand gets through. That was a round, again, from Whitwell. Little shake of the head. So let's see if Whitwell can press the advantage in this fourth round. Still a long enough way to go. Nice sharp 1-2 from Whitwell. And I think what we can see is a work in progress, George, with Whitwell. You can just see her getting used to the right distance between attack and defense and where she's leaving herself. And you can almost see her kind of learning and working that out as she goes along.
Yeah, well, this is a fantastic maturing fight for her. Because Oles, she's clamping up to not give away any free shots. So Whitwell's got to find the openings, create the openings, but also when she does land a few shots, Oles has to punch back. So you can't be lazy with your defences or just over gung-ho with your attacks, because you could get caught with a counter.
Good to see her throwing so many body shots. It's certainly the last sort of 5, 6 or so years of the amateurs. That's certainly something that started to develop, probably with the head guards coming off and maybe the scoring evolving as well, but you never used to see it. You have in latter years started to see it in the amateurs, and no surprise therefore the newly turned over pros who've come out of the amateurs in recent years are sort of already immersed in the kind of body shot experience.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that long ago when body shots didn't even score. The computer scoring system, body shots didn't score, so they was almost wasted. So you obviously want to hurt your opponent, but if it wasn't a scoring shot, it wasn't always the most
all action.
Bang for your buck.
All action stuff from Whitwell, and another dominant round from her. Fair play to Oles. I thought she might have been just on the edge in between rounds, but she was able to soak it up. But she was under a lot of pressure in that round again from Whitwell. And that's the improvement from the first 2 rounds to now into 3-4 and going into 5, because she probably was holding her feet a little bit in those early rounds in range. There you can just see her taking that little step back, as George was saying, and that's partly to reset and go again. It's just partly you're not in danger of getting clipped, and that's been an evolution just in this fight, which is good to see. And whether that's because of the advice of her dad in the corner, or whether that's something she's kind of copped onto herself, either way, it's good to see that evolution within the space of a few rounds.
Yeah, in the first 2 rounds, she was pulling out a little bit higher after her exchanges and giving Oles a chance to counter. But when she finishes her work, well, as I say that, she's been caught with a left hook coming out high.
Commentator's curse, yeah.
Yes, but up until that point, she made a slight adjustment that was slightly better, where she wasn't getting drunk on her success, shall we say.
A lovely left hook in that sequence again from Whitwell. Having it all her own way, just the odd spats of defiance from Oles, who's kind of relying on a toughness more than anything else through these closing rounds. Again, a left hook of defiance from Oles. Oh, big right hand at the end of the round. Just planting her feet a little bit more there. Maybe she feels that she's earned the right to let her hands go up close without too much concern for what's coming back, Whitwell. But another dominant round. It's one-way traffic. Fair play to Oles. I think certainly through in between the 3rd, 4th, 5th, I think the corner really had to help her through those difficult moments mentally. Fair play that between them, they managed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. She had to ship some heavy shots in those first 3 rounds, but maybe now,
final round,
with the end in sight.
And so, if you're Harli Whitwell, what's your approach here? The rounds are in the bank. The win is on its way. How do you go about these final couple of minutes? I think the answer's pretty clear.
Yeah, I think she wants a stoppage win, but she's going to have to create it. I don't think she's going to get it with just brute force here. Oles got the finishing line in sight, and when she tucks up tight, it's hard to find. This is good from Whitwell.
Yeah, that's the shot, isn't it? That was a beauty. Her elbows are so protective, Oles. She's doing really well to stave off those body shots. There's been a lot of body attacks from Whitwell, and to be fair, the elbows of Oles have been particularly guarded. I think you can see why Oles has only been stopped once. Nice spearing jab to the body from Whitwell again. Well, interesting, referee's in, 30 seconds to go, and the referee just thinks it's too much, too much. Interesting decision. If you, I was getting to the stage where you're thinking Oles has taken the worst of it, and 30 seconds at the time shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter in the eyes of a referee. It almost has no bearing on the decision whatsoever. So we shouldn't ever really mention the fact that there's only so long to go in a fight. You fancied Oles had just about seen through the worst of it, but it was a sustained beatdown. She wasn't winning any rounds. I feel it's maybe a bit hard done by there.
I think Ola's been a bit disappointed. I'm sure she's proud of her record there. She doesn't get stopped often. And yeah, I thought she was in much worse of trouble throughout the fight. She was still punching back. It's a little bit hard done by there, but essentially it hasn't changed the result of the fight.
It was that right hand that did it. I mean, she was throwing back at the time, Oles, and she sort of looked at the referee perplexed, as if to say in Polish, "You what?"
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 33 seconds of 6. Your winner by TKO, Harli Whitwell.
Harli, another win and another stoppage under your belt. Just how good did that feel tonight?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Probably technically my best bout so far. But yeah, she was a tough cookie, didn't want to take too many shots, but I'm really impressed with my performance.
It looked like you were throwing every single shot, every combination with intention in there. Was that the game plan going in, to try and get the stoppage?
Yeah, just going and trying to break them down a little bit, looking for that one shot rather than just throwing all my power behind every single shot, which I can do sometimes. But yeah, I think I showed that. But yeah, really pleased.
I was trying to listen to what Dad was saying in the corner, and I think he was saying, throw the jab, but relax. Are you at your best when you're relaxed in there?
Yeah, I do get quite nervous before, but when I'm in there, it's just, I feel like I'm at home. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone coming out. That noise really gets me going. So, love everyone, and having my dad in the corner, you know, you can't ask for a better team when you've got people that have got your best interests at heart. And Lee, all my sponsors, I wouldn't be here without everyone. So yeah, and thank you, Johnny, for having me on. What an amazing show, and hopefully I'll be back and fighting for a title this year.
Hopefully you'll be back soon, but well done, fantastic.
Thank you so much.